Peace. It was really hard to push the button today, boy, and it's been a long time. I don't know, about 3 months, a bit over 3 months ago, the last video I shared again was, they wouldn't even upload it, whatever. So, anyway, depression. What does it look like? It looks like this. This is what it looks like. I actually had to make a promise to someone that I was gonna take a fucking shower this morning. Baby steps. Get myself out of a funk. Even just simply just being in the car. Getting out, getting into the car and going somewhere to do errands and stuff like that. It ain't easy. Some of the simplest things, But over the course of my life, in more recent years, I don't know if anybody's familiar with seasonal affect disorder or seasonal depression. The shorter days, the longer nights, the cold. I live in the Northeast. Makes it difficult to get outside sometimes, and we've had some pretty frigid Arctic weather. We had a bomber snowstorm this past weekend. We're going to have another one this weekend. And I like the snow. I really do. However, it just, I think my Northeast days are over, man. I've actually, I've considered moving to the Caribbean. I enjoy the Caribbean. I enjoy traveling in the Caribbean. And it's beautiful, man. But the prospect of actually moving to a different country, or even let's say the U.S. Virgin Islands, exceedingly expensive, just crazy expensive. And but I was actually considering the possibility. I have a lot of family that lives in Florida, on the western coast, on the Gulf of Mexico. And I was never really a fan because, one, because of the heat, the excessive heat and humidity. I actually worked down there in my teen years during the summer, when school was out, during the summer doing asphalt in the middle of summer in Florida. It's grueling. But I was actually considering the possibility of making my tropical move, maybe somewhere a little more realistic than the Caribbean, and maybe checking out Florida. And like I said, my family, a good chunk of my family lives down there. Tampa, Clearwater, Hudson, Crystal River, all along the coast there. Port Richey, Newport Richey, etc., etc. But depression, I'm telling you guys, it's fucking brutal. And the things that have added to it, the thing, for example, I didn't notice so much in recent years, even if I did have some remnants of seasonal affect, seasonal depression. The last several years I had my dog Jake, and maybe I'm a candidate for a one of those therapy animals, but at the same point, I don't want to, I don't feel right about seeking out a pet or an animal. It's a commitment, man. Maybe it's not a child, but it's a commitment, and I don't take that commitment lightly. My future, where I'm going to live, and et cetera, is a bit uncertain at the moment, and I don't want to introduce a new animal into my life where, let's just say, in 6 months or a year from now, I move to Florida, or I have to find other house. It's not fair to the animal. You know. Um, so, anyway, laugh it off, Scott. I'm telling you, guys. You know, I've had bouts of depression. I would never classify or label myself I am depressed. No, I'm not a depressed person. Typically, I'm a fairly optimistic, rose-colored glasses. I always try to see the best in the situation. Um, you know, from a realistic, viewpoint. But I always try to see the best in things and situations and people, and give people the benefit of the doubt. But when I get like this, man, I'm telling you, I've been so sedentary, and I've had a couple of punches in the gut, and family wide. I lost my sister on Christmas. She transitioned. She passed away, and I've still been I've been processing that. Let's just say I've been processing that. I wouldn't qualify or classify what I've been experiencing in regards to her passing as mourning, but I've been processing her mourning. Um, just a lot of different things like that, in the last several months, and as recently as December, and then coming up on the anniversary of losing my dog Jake. Just a lot of real heavy stuff. And with that, it's interesting how when we are experiencing sadness and depression, experiencing it, we are not sad, we are not depressed, we are experiencing those things. Um, but it's interesting that when we're in those positions, in those feelings, in those sensations, um, in those experiences, how the very thing that probably would be best for us is to not isolate, to get off our ass and do something, to go for a walk, to stay connected with friends, etc., etc. And it's quite the opposite, at least in my case. I isolate, I retreat, I go into hermit mode. I shut the blinds, I shut the curtains, whatever, and I'm left alone with my thoughts. And some of those thoughts are pretty heavy and pretty deep, and I start reevaluating the course of my entire life and what's it all for, and start thinking. And when you're experiencing depression, it's very easy and convenient to fall into patterns of where we only see our failures, not our successes. And I can freely admit that I have been experiencing that, where I see my failures and they're like right there in my face. Um, and I was even inclined. I have like this little wall in my house where I have cards, letters, baubles, trinkets, charms, etc. Things that people have shared with me, to express thanks and gratitude for one reason or another. And there was one point recently where I was thinking about tearing that whole wall down, because it wasn't, that's all fine and dandy. My thought process was, maybe I had these experiences, but I haven't had any lately. I haven't done anything that would garner something like that. And starting to really beat the shit out of myself, emotionally. You know, um, viewing myself as um, viewing myself from a point of obsolescence. I am no longer required. That I've come and I've done everything that I was going to do, and I've had some success and some failure. You know, and even right now, it's a struggle for me right now to even share this with you guys, because I've been locked down pretty fucking hard. Um, you know, it's been getting progressively worse or more intense. Um, and if not for the conversations that I've had over the last couple of days with two separate friends, um, it goes a long way, you guys. You know, and there's a certain part of it where you don't want to pick up your phone, you don't want to answer the door, you don't want to respond to a message. You just want the whole fucking world to go away, and at least for me, I want to fall asleep and wake up when it's over. That's not realistic. But if not for these two friends, in the past 2 days or so, very, very gently reaching out, you know, there was a certain aspect of that that made me feel um, that maybe my presence was missed. Um, in the same breath, there, like when I'm in this mode, time has no. It's like a day could go by and it feels like a week, or a week could go by and it feels like a day. Time becomes like seamless. There is no time. But I'm fucking rambling. Wow. Anyway, I thought I'd share this with you guys. It doesn't necessarily look like it, but I made a promise to myself and another person, a friend this morning, that I would take a fucking shower. And I'm telling you, it took me about a solid 3 hours to work up the energy. Literally, I'm telling you guys, about 3 fucking hours to work up the energy to get my ass in the shower. And even the act of showering wasn't, shall we say, as refreshing. Um, but once I was out of the shower, once I got dressed, once I got my ass out of the house, I'm glad I got my ass out of the house. So I took a shower today, you guys. Small victories, man. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing all right. This is life, man. You know, I'm reminded of a Khalil Gibran poem. It's found in Khalil Gibran on friendship. um, that if your friend should know um, your flow, they should also know the ebb. You know, the ebb and flow. There's an ebb and flow to our lives. There's high times, there's low times, there's light times and dark times. You know, and seek not your friend with hours to kill, but with hours to live. Um, I really enjoy his writing, his poetry, but you know, it's easy to share the good stuff. It's not so easy to share when we're not on our game, when we're not 100%, when we feel like running for the hills, and but we know that there are people out there that um, people, friends, family, whoever it is for us as individuals, people that we feel soulfully connected with. Anyway, I took a shower today. Peace that surpasses all understanding. I'm going to shut up now. I got to get some diesel for some heating oil and head back home and get ready for tomorrow's storm. Make sure everything's operational. But peace that surpasses all understanding, you guys. And thank you for being part of my life. You know, it's not always easy. We all experience it at one point or another. And sometimes a simple prompt or a poke on the shoulder or, hey, let's have a cup of coffee kind of thing, it goes a long way, you guys. You know, um, and it's nice to feel, to be able to feel vulnerable with certain people, close friends. It's nice to feel vulnerable and sharing when we're not, you know, when we're not feeling 100%. It's nice to have that privilege. It's an honor. But with that, it's weird, you guys. It's weird. Even in this moment, I'm like, peace. I'm out.